Hi everyone, this is Abdurrahman. My research presentation about applying Andragogy theory in Photoshop training programs. Why I chose this topic and what are my goals? Most of my experience of teaching and training was with the adult learners, either in graphic training centers or with high school students and teachers, because I used to be an assistant principal in a high school. One of the goals um, of choosing this topic, I need to improve my comprehensive in andragogy theory through applying it with a familiar topic, which is training programs, training or Photoshop training programs. Also, my future field after I graduate from Western Michigan University is teaching in one of the Saudi universities, and through the comprehensive of the theory, it will be easy for me to apply this theory there and publish articles based on it if I have a chance. In the bottom of this slide, we have the stages of adults. There are three stages of adults: emerge adult, that from 18 to 25 years old. The second, young adult, from 26 to 39 years old. The third, mature adult, from 40 to 94 years old. Um, in fact, the past 7 years, I noticed the growing number of designers in Saudi Arabia among males and females from age 17 and above. Most of them learn Photoshop with the help of their friends or the internet websites. There were no many graphic centers offers Photoshop classes, and these were expensive. With the growing number of Photoshop designers, Photoshop workshops in Saudi Arabia become more popular than before and cheaper. I have been training graphic programs since 2005, especially Photoshop. Through the Photoshop workshops I used to teach, I noticed the majority ages attending these classes were between 18 to 35. There is no doubt they are considered to be adult, but the matter is what is the right teaching technique can Photoshop trainers implement to teach the variety of age stages effectively. What is Photoshop? Photoshop is the world leading image and editing application. It's used to create images for the internet, for print, and for other new media discipline. There is an interesting story about how Photoshop program was established by the two brothers, John Knoll and Thomas Knoll, and how they improved the program until it becomes one of the most effective programs in the world. The first version of this program was Photoshop 1 in February 1990. Photoshop program has been used by millions of graphic designers, articles, Photoshop photographers, web designers, and also teachers. It's possible every image you have seen for poster, book jackets, CD covers, and internet, either being created or edited by Photoshop. Photoshop also was used by the American FBI for Boston bombing investigation in April 2013. Photoshop in Saudi Arabia and how it improves adult skills. It helps emerge and young adults to be self-employed and make a living. improves emerge and young adults communication skills with the schools and companies when they show them their previous designs. Also, it helps them also make a strong relationship with other designers and movie makers, producers, which improved their teamwork skills. Through all of those, we got teenagers trying to carry the responsibility of their families and become more helpful for them. Um, why Andragogy in Photoshop training programs? Before we answer this question, we have to answer three questions before. What is pedagogy? What is andragogy? And what are the differences between them? Uh, Pedagogy, or the word pedagogy, is a Greek word. Originally, peda means child, and gogis means leader of. Pedagogy literally means the art and science of um, teaching children. According to Knowles, until 19th century pedagogy was the only existing model in US schools, even in higher education. Therefore, when US established the adult education programs after World War One, pedagogy was only model was implemented, uh, and adults have been taught as if they were children. According to Knowles, also, pedagogical model refers fully responsibility to the teacher to decide what students must learn and how it will be learned and when it will be learned. Thus, students are dependent on their teacher, and the teacher decides what they need to learn, even if they don't know how to apply it to their lives. What is andragogy? Andragogy is the art and science of adult learning. So, andragogy refers to any form of adult learning. Dr. Knowles considers to be the father of andragogy. He was born in 1913 and died in 1997. Andragogy assumptions. Andragogy today consists six assumptions. Those are: the adult learners have self-concept that moves them to be independent and self-directed. They have experience, which is counted to be a resource of learning. Therefore, their experience is the center rather than the teachers or trainers. Adult learners uh, are ready to learn to improve their individual skills or social growth. So they have their internal motivation. Thus, adult educators need to show them why they need to learn a subject and how it will help them to attain their goals. There are four principles of andragogy. Knowles suggested these principles. Uh, these are: adults need to be involved in the planning and evaluation of their situation. Experience, including mistakes, provides the basis for the learning activities. Adults are most interesting in learning subjects that have immediate relevance and impact to their job or principal life. Adult learning is problem centered rather than content oriented. Application of Andragogy in personal computer training. Knowles in 1984 provide an example of applying andragogy principles to the design of personal computer training, and he says there is a need to explain the reasons specific things are being taught. Instruction should be task oriented instead of memorization. Learning activities should be in the context of common task to be performed by the others. Instruction should take into account the wide range of different backgrounds of learners. Learning materials and activities should allow for different levels, types of previous experience with computers. Also, since adults are self directed, instruction should allow learners to discover things and know for themselves without depending people will provided guidance and help when mistakes are made. Why andragogy in Photoshop program training programs? Um, in that Photoshop classes I have taught, I noticed most or all of the Photoshop trainee have internal motivation and their goals either individual growth or business growth. Also, most of them are self-directed because they use internet as the primary resource to learn new creative ideas and the new Photoshop versions. Also, the majority of them attend the workshops with previous experience. Thus, it's important for the trainers to know what they have known and what they want to improve before they build their curriculum. Photoshop designer or Photoshop designers learn more when they analyze other designs rather than reading a book or listening to a lecture. So they are more problem centered than subject centered. So from my experience, the most effective adult theory will be andragogy. Let's see now the comparing andragogy with pedagogy. Here, this slide shows the differences between pedagogy and andragogy with 5 elements. I would give you time to read through this slide. Thank you for your attention and your time. Uh, if you have any question, please let me know in the presentation discussion. And thank you so much.